Unit 12, Culture Shock. Unit 12, pages 102 and 103. Look and listen. Tips to international travelers.
Very often, people who travel to the United States forget to tip. It is usual to tip porters, taxi drivers, and waiters. Waiters expect to get a 15% tip on the cost of your meal. Taxi drivers expect about the same amount.
In Italy and Mexico, all university graduates have a title, and they usually expect you to use it. Don't forget to call a lawyer or a graduate dottore in Italy, and in Mexico, call him licenciado.
In England, make sure to stand in line, queue, even if there are only two of you. It's important to respect lines there. It's a good idea to talk about the weather. It's a favorite subject of conversation with the British.
In Spain, it's advisable to have a light snack in the afternoon if someone invites you for dinner. People eat meals very late, and restaurants do not generally open until after 9 p.m.
In Arab countries, men kiss one another on the cheek. Your host may welcome you with a kiss on both cheeks. It is polite to do the same.
In Japan, be prepared to exchange personal or business cards. When a person gives you a card, don't put it into your pocket right away. The person expects you to read it and even to comment on it. It is impolite not to do so.
Don't forget to be careful of your hand gestures or other body language to express something in conversation. A gesture that is acceptable in one culture may be offensive in another.
In most Asian countries, people do not touch or show any sign of affection in public. For example, remember not to pat a child on the head to show your affection or appreciation.
Unit 12, page 103. Part 2, Pair Work. A. Ask and answer about customs in different countries. You can use the information on these pages.
What should I remember to do in England?
Always remember to stand in line.
Is it polite to hug and kiss people in Thailand?
No, it isn't.
What is important to do in Japan?
It's important to exchange personal or business cards.
B. Give advice to travelers to different countries.
Try not to arrive late in Switzerland.
Why not?
Because people are very punctual. They make Swiss watches there.
Unit 12, page 106, Part 4, Listening. A. Listen once. Listen to understand the story. Luciano is telling David about a backpacking trip in Europe. Answer true or false.
Luciano, what advice can you give me about backpacking in Europe?
It's advisable to look clean and neat. Some people have the wrong idea about tourists who travel with backpacks, and they don't treat them well. Always remember to double-check your train schedules, and don't expect everyone you meet to speak English.
Did you ever have a bad experience as a backpacker?
Well, I had one that was more funny than bad. 2 friends and I were on a night train to a ski resort in Switzerland. In the middle of the journey, the conductor came into our compartment, and we understood by his gestures that the train didn't go any farther.
So you had to get out?
Yeah. It was about midnight, and the next train to where we were going was at 5 in the morning.
Did you wait in the station for 5 hours?
No, the station master didn't let us stay there. People have this thing about backpackers. They think all backpackers are tramps. It was snowing, everything was closed, and the only hotel in town cost $300 a night.
What a bad situation. So what did you guys do?
We managed to find a stairway, and the 3 of us got close together to try and keep warm. But the wind was freezing. Suddenly I got an idea. We got on the first train that came by. We kept riding between stations until it was time for our train. We had a Eurail pass, so we were able to take any train at any time.
Cool idea.
No, a warm one, I think.
B. Listen again. What advice does Luciano give David about backpacking in Europe? Complete the sentences.
Luciano, what advice can you give me about backpacking in Europe?
It's advisable to look clean and neat. Some people have the wrong idea about tourists who travel with backpacks, and they don't treat them well. Always remember to double-check your train schedules, and don't expect everyone you meet to speak English.
Did you ever have a bad experience as a backpacker?
Well, I had one that was more funny than bad. 2 friends and I were on a night train to a ski resort in Switzerland. In the middle of the journey, the conductor came into our compartment, and we understood by his gestures that the train didn't go any farther.
So you had to get out.
Yeah, it was about midnight, and the next train to where we were going was at 5 in the morning.
Did you wait in the station for 5 hours?
No, the station master didn't let us stay there. People have this thing about backpackers. They think all backpackers are tramps. It was snowing, everything was closed, and the only hotel in town cost $300 a night.
What a bad situation. So what did you guys do?
We managed to find a stairway, and the 3 of us got close together to try and keep warm. But the wind was freezing. Suddenly I got an idea. We got on the first train that came by. We kept riding between stations until it was time for our train. We had a Eurail pass, so we were able to take any train at any time.
Cool idea.
No, a warm one, I think.
Unit 12, page 106, Part 5, Pronunciation. Listen and practice. Be sure to say each sound differently in English.
For r, turn your tongue back and then uncurl it. For l, touch the tip of your tongue behind your top teeth. For b, close your lips, push air forward, and then open your lips quickly. For v, do not close your lips. You touch your top teeth with your bottom lip.
Right. Rude. Right. Left. Polite. Listen. Business. Bus. Somebody. Visit. Vehicle. Everyone.
Unit 12, page 107, Part 7, Conversation. Dressed for success?
What are you wearing to the company reception?
I'm going to wear a dark suit, white shirt, and a tie. It's better to dress up than dress down.
I guess you're right. I'll wear my elegant blue dress.
I had a bad experience the first time I was in the States. I got an invitation to a party, and it said sports clothes. It was in the summer, and we were near the ocean in Santa Barbara, California. So I wore my tennis shorts, a t-shirt, and sneakers. All the other men were wearing long pants and nice shirts. I felt very embarrassed. I didn't stay long at the party.
Let me tell you what happened to me once. I watched all these business women wearing tennis shoes to work, so I decided to go to a business meeting in sneakers. In the elevator, I saw this woman changing her tennis shoes for high heels. I wanted to die.
So what did you do?
Your ending. What does Angela say that she did? Make a choice. 1,
I went out and bought a pair of nice shoes.
2,
I told everyone that I hurt my foot and that I had to wear sneakers.
3,
I pretended that everything was normal and no one said a thing.
4. Your idea. Unit 12, page 108, Part 9, Reading. When in Rome, do as the Romans do.
The following are some points that you should try to think about when you visit the United States.
Hugging, kissing, and keeping a distance. In Latin America, it is common for male and female friends to kiss one another on the cheek. In Brazil, people kiss one another twice or even 3 times, especially if they are young and unmarried. In general, people from Latin cultures like to touch and hug one another. The same does not occur in the United States. Americans might kiss family members, and they usually shake hands when they first meet people. But in general, they like to keep their distance. The acceptable distance is approximately 16 inches, 40 centimeters.
Eye contact. In some Asian countries, when you look someone in the eye, this may be a sign of lack of respect. In the United States, it is polite to make eye contact when you are talking to someone.
On a first-name basis. In the United States, it is common for new friends and work colleagues to call each other by their first names. This isn't a sign of disrespect in any way. If you want to be more formal, use Mr., Mrs., or Ms. So-and-so, but never Mr. Bob, Mrs. Mary, or Ms. Ann.
Invitations. Most of the business entertainment takes place in restaurants. It is not very common for Americans to bring business into their homes. When they get to know you and you become friends, they might invite you and your family for a meal in their house. This does not mean that you can take your entire family and friends with you. In Latin America, a couple of extra guests are usually welcome. And don't take "come and see us sometime" literally. It actually means keep in touch.
Punctuality. Americans are not tolerant of lateness, particularly for business meetings, and only a little less for social occasions. In some countries, it is fashionable to be late, and excuses of traffic jams are perfectly okay. This is not the case in the United States. Therefore, try to schedule your departure for meetings earlier.
Noise. People of Latin cultures like to talk and talk loudly. It is acceptable to sing happy birthday to someone in a U.S. restaurant. But it is not advisable to start singing your favorite songs at the top of your voice.
End of Unit 12. Expansion 4. Reading. Page 110. Part 1. What are your dreams telling you?
Last night I had an unusual dream. I dreamed that I was flying. When I moved my arms up and down, I moved higher and higher into the sky. I felt as free as a bird.
Martha, age 35.
I had a bad dream, a nightmare that kept coming back. I walked out of my bedroom and a monster came out and chased me. One night, when the monster was chasing me, I turned back and said, "Leave me alone!" I haven't had the dream again since then.
Jason, age 14. What do these dreams mean? For thousands of years, people have tried to interpret dreams. Many modern dream researchers have come up with theories about dreams. They believe that dreams tell us what is going on in our lives. Usually, flying is a positive symbol in a dream. Flying in dreams means success, control, confidence, and being on top of it all. So Martha, the person who had the first dream, may be in love, or may have success at work. Monsters in dreams often represent fears. For Jason, the monsters may represent the adults who control his life. Or it may represent Jason's fears about growing up. But Jason showed that he was able to conquer his fears. Here are some common symbols in dreams.
Snakes. If you dream about snakes, there will be good changes in your life. For the ancient Greeks, dreams with snakes were the most positive ones, and dream interpreters still say the same today.
Big waves. Water in dreams often means emotional concerns. A big wave probably means an emotional worry. If you can guess the problem, you'll be able to solve it and be happier.
Teeth. If you dream that your teeth fall out, you may be worried about your appearance. Or it might mean that you have dental problems.
Falling. If you dream that you are falling, you may feel that your life is out of control. slow down, and figure out how to solve your problems.
So, what are your dreams telling you?